Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another casted game. We are in the final game of the ECL final series between Lionheart and Risotto. Jumping on to cast this epic game. The series has been great so far, as a little warm-up ahead of the next series, which you can watch after this video is finished, between Robrot and Dennis. But for time being, this game is between Lionheart and Risotto. Lion spawning down to the southwest of the map, Scandinavia, in the colour blue, playing as the Ottomans. His opponent, Risotto, is playing the United States of America, spawning to the northeast in the colour red. This is a play all 7 series, and at the moment the score between these guys is 3 apiece. That means, yes, there's going to be a whole 7 game series between Robrot and Dennis, 2 of the tournament top players. So, should be highly anticipated. Both players have done exceptionally well in the tournament series so far, but that's for the future, and this is a tasty preview for that, getting ahead of the action before those 2 players play the game. Lionheart's opening up the series, opening up today's game with a trading post and a mosque. Did see Lion try to do a double mosque opening, a double TP opening in the previous Ottoman game he played. I think he subsequently lost that game. That was on the High Plains, but we're in Scandinavia now, and I think the reason being is there are no 2 TPs close to each other, and that the TPs here on this map spawning on the side variation instead of 2 behind your base on the same route. So that's why is Lion's gone for single trading post, single mosque. He's actually gone for a house as well, which is interesting because last time Lionheart played this build, he went for the Karim opening, which is capitalism card 1, not going for your in-base house. So Lionheart gives himself options, gives himself breathing space. He's got up to 11 villagers after sending in 3 vills. He has a deck called 1 versus 1 water. Well, the only water card in his deck is schooners and an Age 4 battleship card. There is no 2 galleys Age 2. There is no frigate in Age 3. It does have both double wood and double gold cards in Age 2, so not expecting really to see any water actually from Lionheart, because he hasn't really got too much ways to defend it. And again, though, he's up against Risotto, and it's actually quite hard to squeeze in water cards in the United States deck. Only there having the frigate in the 3rd age, no cards in the 2nd. All those cards are pretty crucial cards. The wood, the gold, the fast age up there from Virginia General Assembly, 8 State Militia, just in case Lion's going to do a cheeky double Rex Jan Rush, and the Springfield Armory for late game free arsenal upgrades. I think it's the only way that the United States of America can access the advanced arsenal, so it's a bit of like you kind of have to have that card in your deck. Lionheart picking up 85 wood, Explorer moving across, not yet thinking that he's going to be going for a second trading post. We're in transition, age up to next age, everybody's still on food, everybody's still on gold. Don't expect to see any water play here, otherwise you would see a lot of people chopping wood, transitioning over to the wood income, getting the docks down with side villagers. Well, you probably actually would go dock instead of a trading post in age 1, but the point here is Lion is staying to his relatively limited knowledge pool of the Ottomans, keeping it nice and simple, probably going to go for the straight FF, expecting 700 gold, card number 1, and probably playing aggressive Jan, Falk, Nizam with specialist cavalry of the either the Spahis or the Mamelukes. I think is going to be the playstyle here from Lionheart. We'll move over to Risotto's point of view. Open up with 3 CDBs, now sending in the bank card in transition, going for a slightly eco-heavy build. Defensive barracks bank does come down to block off. Nice walling. Nice trees in front of the base as well, which will make some path in from the Ottoman army rather tricky. Have to see how he wants to go about this. He's going to send in 700 gold, so it does look to be wanting to age up in decent amount of time. But you got to notice that still worth getting the berries quite heavily actually. There's no hunting upgrade as of yet, no market. So anytime villagers having to shoot an animal or move around, wasting gathering time. 700 gold first. I guess that's to get the gold in before sending in the fast age, but doesn't look to be super fast here due to how much investments the Dutch immigrants card in the first stage has led to.
What is your command?
Minutemen will move down. They currently sat at 101 HP, so they will take 2 shots from the town centre to get picked off. But they don't do too much damage to villagers, so there's no real threat here from Risotto onto Lionheart's build. Maybe looking for an Explorer, but it's kind of just... it's not wasted. I think Lionheart would be wise to not ignore, but not overreact. Maybe get one of these Minutemen down to less than 90 HP, so a single town centre shot with 10 villagers can pick it up. But there's no threats to the villagers at the moment. So therefore, Risotto's just kind of chilling. I think he's keeping his eyes open. Scouting the map. Not finding cheeky Yoriks crossing the map here. Now, Lion is on his way up to the next age. Just switched over to his point of view. Going for the marksman. That is an Abus gun age up. 4 Abus guns. And are we going to see a forward tower? We are. Lionheart's going to try throw down a forward tower. 30 seconds remaining. That will get up way before the age up is complete. So the 4 Abus guns can go forwards. Now, these Minutemen. Very good. But he's trying to scout the map. Trying to get an idea what Lionheart's up to. So I think what it is from Risotto, he understands. Oh, he does scout it now with the Minutemen. I think it's going to pull every single unit back. I think he understands that if Ottoman goes in base and then plays semi-FF from there and kind of goes or Fast Fortress and has in-base barracks and unit shipment points, United States can deal with this. However, the forward outpost with the age up, Abus guns putting forward, it's kind of leaving USA in an awkward spot. Units will come up from the outpost. There's no way really to deny that at this stage. TP at the shipment points from Ottoman in base. So the train post and the mosque will allow plenty of shipment spam. And there's a direct line here from the outpost into the town centre. State capital going defensive. Has to research fast age to get up halfway to the next age. That will come in, but he's just really behind. And you have to think that 2 Falconets are coming soon here from Lionheart. 2 shipments stacked, but not planning to send anything. I think he's all in on the Spahi play, but the problem is he's just wasting time and momentum. He could have shipped in 8 Janissaries or 6 Nizams in between before getting the 5 Spahis, but he's now committing to this. And yet, the Spahis are coming. 3, 2, 1. See the frantic clicking. It's on its way, but gives Risotto some time to wall up. From Risotto's point of view, like, I don't see a market, so everybody's still on the hunt here, trying to herd it in. 0.84 food per second, but the blueberry bushes give the exact same income. Now, granted, most of the berries have already been eaten, but slightly faster way. If you can get the animals herded behind your town centre, it might be a good time to try and use your front's resources first before it gets too late. Sharpshooters come in, 5 Carbine cavalry being sent from Risotto defensively to try and tackle the potential artillery or the Janissaries or the cavalry. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen a stable come down at the moment from the United States. Kind of feels that heavy cavalry's coming, and there it is. Spahi shipment has arrived. 1000 wood is the next card here from Lionheart, so this is kind of wanting to be not that aggressive, but he's going to dive in, and one Spahi's going to be nearly going down, but all those sharpshooters are about to get absolutely wrecked. From Risotto's point of view, is to be able to call another batch of Minutemen. He can, but he hasn't got the food. Yeah, he's cancelling the villagers now. Sharpshooters do get a decent volley onto the Abus guns. Minutemen will come out. Another batch of heavy infantry. Carbine cavalry ripping through the remaining Spahis to stay up. They will get some decent value on the remaining infantry. Villagers coming out to fire as well. They are buffed by the French consulate. Or French immigrants. Carbine cavalry still staying alive. They're actually keeping all, at least 4 alive. And for an age up and a single shipment has caused a decent amount of distraction there for the American player, but he's kind of happy how it's gone. Apache Cav now being called behind instead of the Pulaski's Legion. 250 food, 250 wood investment. Now I'm going to be looking to go on the aggressive versus this outpost. Meanwhile, Lionheart, well, he's just dropping down houses, maybe upgrades. Well, he hasn't actually got veteran Janissaries even after sending in 1000 wood. Sending in 6 Abus to the outpost when that could be, well, probably Abus there slightly better, but going for a defensive town centre on the coast, it's just the wrong idea. I think maybe going the town centres first could work. We're going single card aggression. There was just not enough follow-up play there behind from the Ottoman player. Just marching in with 4 Abus, 5 Spahis is not going to get enough done. And this forward base is getting cleaned up. 3 villagers here at large risk of being picked up. They're going to be going down. No real way to defend them. The barracks at likely. Veteran Janissaries has just been researched. However, there's no Janissaries remaining on the field. 2 Falcons being shipped, but they've got to be shipped home, else they will get picked up for free. This is a tournament game, so I expect to see Lion playing us out to the end. However, I feel that that second town centre not up yet. It's still being built. It's still taking time. Racks at home. And trying to look at the food of a Ottoman villager to see what the income is. 0.84. Doesn't have hunting dogs on those bad boys just yet. So food looking really limited. Actually, I'm looking for the market. There is no market from Lionheart, and actually keeping those Janissaries coming out did seem a bit questionable. They're going down straight away, and unfortunately, I'm not really too sure this game has much legs left in it. Market going down, house going down in base. The entire army here from the Ottoman player. 2 Falconets and a dead explorer, Sahin the Falcon. Oh no, he's alive building town centre. But even the mosque haven't even got millet system yet, or get out of town district. But no millet system means that the income of the villagers will be very, very slow. Rosado though, sending in the shipments, spamming out, going for the second batch of Dragoons here from the Apache Cavalry. And what a nice card that is that the Americans have. Elite Apaches. Don't cost any population, which is quite nice. House coming down. Architects starting to be worked through. But the bank, income, the CDBs, United States pulling away at the moment. XP starting to slow down quite a bit. I think once this Apache card comes in, he's going to keep on the pressure and keep pushing. Sharpshooters are coming from behind. Another batch will get trained. Maybe a full batch of 5. Looking to be. Oh, we'll just go for the 3 there, but it kind of doesn't matter. 8 Jans will be protecting the Falconets there from line. Did he get a full batch? I'd be surprised if he did. Oh, managed to have sent a full batch there. 15. 8 Janissaries arrived from the home city as well. Card order in the 3rd age. 5 Spahi, 1k wood. 6 Abus, 2 Falconets, and then the 8 Jans here to reinforce. Could have been Nizams, I think. They could have done a little bit better versus the Apache. Probably not versus the Sharpshooters. Or that doesn't really matter too much. Sharpshooters moving down. Apache Cav just running rampant through the Ottoman player's base. And he's just going to start sieging stuff down, which makes sense. Sharpshooters, though, highly vulnerable to Falconets, so he's going to be very careful. Yeah, and they start to go flying. But Ashley Bozoks, the Ottoman Minutemen, do get caught. Not really much that Rosado wants to do versus this. He's just going to have to back out. Those Falconets still looking menacing. All it takes here from Rosado is just to find those Falconets unguarded, right-click it, and that's going to be pretty safe. Maybe Rosado's looking for a Pulaski's Legion timing, but he's quite far away from his next card. Hasn't sent in the 3 Gatling guns yet at any point. No Gatling guns on the field, which I find somewhat interesting. That's a good way to get some momentum, but Sharpshooter into Carbine Cavalry is the order of the day here from Rosado. Just moving around the map. Not having to commit too much. What can he see? He can see the Jans coming from quite a distance. Couple of shots there. Gets the guys into stagger mode. Looks like it, but quite not often. Massive damage there on the bounce shot, which is very unfortunate. A lot of HP going down behind. I think Rosado, what he really wants to try and do is get a increased count of his veteran Carbine Cavalry, which he's trying to do now. And Ottoman's somewhat stabilized. I feel like when the fight actually happens, there's enough Dragoons here to right-click the Falcons down, and the Sharpshooters can just about clean up, but it might not be a clean fight. I think Rosado wants to try and keep his options open. Try and wait. The best opportunity he will find in this situation. Steel traps coming in from the market. Look at his base looking really nice and tidy. Bringing in another hunt on the eastern side. Getting some villagers to the north. The American player here is not short of resources and not short of opportunities. Another shipment soon about to arrive. How is he going to play this? You'd have to assume it's going to be the Gatlings to mow down the Janissaries. If you can kind of focus down the Falconets with your Dragoons, then the artillery will make so much work versus the Gatling guns. Other options could be the 2 blockhouses and the 30% food income that it provides, just to increase the eco. I think that's a lie. I think that's a card that Risotto absolutely loves. Other ideas is to get pretty much everyone to wood, send in the 2 coal mines, build an artillery foundry, and train Gatling guns that way. The coal mines are an incredible card. Absolutely fantastic. Might be really important considering actually back mines of both players is 1x1 trading posts and one in the far corner. Aside from that, there's no other safe gold. So Risotto may want to think about the coal mines at some point. However, carbine cavalry being trained, Gatling's being shipped. I feel that Line is going to be anticipating the arrival of the Gatling guns. It's going to go for some Falconet defense. Another 2 Falconets being trained. This could go quite badly wrong here for Risotto if he's not too careful. However, the timing on this is perfect. The Falconets are unguarded. The Dragoons move in, and they're going to pick one off relatively for free. Now, 3 Gatlings versus 1 Falconet is quite Gatling gun favor. That doesn't really matter. It's the Gatling guns having good volleys on the Janissaries. And, yeah, not really. It's not the trade he wants. They're just getting picked up as well. Explorer moving to tank. Here comes the Falconet defense. More Jans coming up from behind, so there's potential still. But the Gatling guns, as soon as they start targeting the Janissaries, they're getting so much cost-effective trades. Another Falconet goes down. Sharpshooter's still alive, though. Like, he's done a good job to try and keep them relatively out the range of the Falconets. It's quite hard to do so, but it kind of feels like he's not really lost his defense position. And the Gatling guns here from Risotto are nicely insecure. That's the key part. That's the key glue for this entire army. And just look at the damage on the Janissaries. They're all falling over as a result of the Gatlings. All clustered up here. Dragoons try moving in out onto the Falconets. Okay, now that the Falconets get ranged into the Gatlings, they'll start to push those Gatlings back. But it's not enough. Double carbine cavalry and sharpshooters coming in. The sharpshooters want to stay on the Falconet as well. Only 33 HP remaining. Good volleys there from Falks. And Red hasn't been too bad there from Lionheart, but Risotto with the key micro keeping his Gatling guns alive as long as possible is exactly what he needed in that situation. Kentucky Hunters now coming in, 10 sharpshooter shipments, as well as some benefits to some outlaws, which won't really matter, but 10 skirmisher shipment at this point, very nice. Kinda would prefer to see 2 Gatlings. Well, maybe not 2 Gatlings. The 2 coal mine also looking pretty tasty at this moment in time. Depends if he has got artillery support. Artillery foundry. No, he hasn't. Another 2 Falconets do come out. So, it may be in Risotto's interest at some point to go into artillery production. Gatlings wheeling across. They're going to see the Falconets, but they can't take their fight, and they do manage to get out of the way quickly. Sharpshooter taking the final volley there. Nearly the bounce shots from the Explorer. Yeah, massive damage on the Gatlings, but that's not quite the case. So out comes the reinforcing sharpshooters. 37 sharpshooters. 21 veteran carbine cavalry. Not looking too bad. 42 villas with decent economy. Lionheart is 26 villagers. I don't think he's forgotten too much of the Galata Town district. But having said that, how the fact that the Yoriks are spawning right at the same time, maybe he has, and not getting minute system feels like a bit of a, I don't want to say blunder, but that's a crucial technology to have if you're going for multiple town centres and some sort of economic play, which he's doing. Pushing in now with 4 Falconets. Might actually sacrifice his bank and get that picked up. Risotto, long distance sniping with the sharpshooters. Potentially over-investing them, question mark. Really needs to get an artillery foundry down. Does have that indeed. Lionheart now anticipating the artillery defense here from Risotto, going Culverin himself to cover and protect the Falconets. There's Nizam's in the army as well, 6 of them. Now this army itself is actually deceptively strong. Kind of cover each other's backs. Pretty much a high damage output. The only potential weakness is the Janissaries' ability to effectively cut down cavalry in melee mode, but they do have incredibly high HP. 301 HP there from the veteran Janissaries. That's looking pretty good on their part. No Jan... Is there Jan Combat? There is Jan Combat. Oh, Jan Combat and Nizam Fusilier Combat as well. Wow, that's an incredible card. Look at the stats on these bad boys. Nearly 300 HP. They're currently in the range stand ground mode, so they have the 20 range, 28 attack, but that's pretty good. Culverins do come out. Culverins of Risotto as well. Kind of needs to get them in. 2 Culverins for each, though. Oh, that's a big vol. Pardon me with my voice. The sheer excitement there of 4 Falconet silencing the sharpshooters. But the Culvers on, I think Lion's got the better angle here. Oh, 1-for-1 trade. That's not too bad. But the Falconets just ripping into the sharpshooters and only 2 Gatling guns. Now the Falconets are happy to try and trade onto the Gatling guns themselves, and Risotto just has to back. The saying is sometimes you can't win an Age of Empires 3 game in 10 seconds, but you can certainly lose it. And if Risotto lost another 20 sharpshooters there to the Falconets, considering they're still alive, that could have been really bad, but decides to back off, fight for another day. Makes sense. Risotto, he's sending in 2 Gatling guns at this point instead of maybe it's like a little bit more long-term focus. He is kind of ahead. He doesn't have to overly pile into this unit shipment spam. He does have a very strong cavalry combat upgrade here for the Carbine Cavalry. Extra attack and more ranged armor, which is perfect to try and move in and snipe off Falconets from a distance. He's just going to try and go for some Vil kills, which makes sense. Let's just see how much that's pulled the army across. The Gatling's moving in, but they just about survive. Getting them pulled out, they just about managed to dodge. Gatling guns on 7 HP and 30 HP respectively. Would love a Chinese transcendence ability, however, that's kind of impossible. And that's a lot of HP there to be healed up by priests if he had some. That'll take a long time. 3 Culverins do come out. Score lead still looking pretty comfortable there for Risotto. It's about trying to manage the game in the situation, but Lionheart's doing everything he can to stay into it. Let's look at Lionheart's point of view. Culvers do come out. 2 Culverins though. It's not the 3 that he would have ideally wanted to match Risotto. He doesn't quite know that one, but we do. He's sent in 5 Yoriks. 5 Yoriks. That's well, that's the best that he's got remaining. Probably 700 wood might be better, considering that's opportunity to get some more housing in, get your mosque attacks in. Has he gone for Verabus? He's not going for Abus guns at all. He's going for Jan Falk. See Lionheart being the Jan Falk enjoyer. And how do you micro this? Everything's just clumped up. Falk's getting huge shots. Cole's been unpacked, but how do you click this? Like, this is a bit of a fight. Gans move forwards to tank one of the Culverin shots, but that's not ideally what he wants. There's a Gatling going a bit too far forwards. Cole's interested. 1 Colv unpacking and packing up again. Gets pulled out, but takes the full shot there from the Culverin. That's not ideal. 3 here from Risotto, and you just see how everything was just being drag box out just to try and pull it, but it makes the pathing really awkward, especially when companies Gatling guns are in the kind of ready to fire position, which makes them nice and slow. But Jan Falk keeping the Vils guard on the top side. Lions is going to move in on the villagers down to the south. The gold mine's out. Economy just dropping for a moment here from Lionheart, gets into the town centre, and once again, the Ottoman army has to move to try. Oh, well, they're not moving to the town centre, they're moving to the American base. He's going to lead a charge, potentially a base trade, capturing the reinforcements, and Lion might see this. Okay, this town centre likely to be going down. A lot of villagers in here, 16 villagers, but the reinforcements, all these villagers getting picked off as well. And Risotto knows this. He knows that force is coming. Starting this trade for 40 vils, that'll go down quite a bit. Risotto at 52 now, has lost a couple crossing the map. Not too bad villager population considering 1 TC production, but Gatling guns will pick off the remaining. And I guess he just charges straight into the main base. He does have decent artillery. But actually, the siege potential here from heavy infantry Falconet is higher. So Risotto's having to come back. 52 villagers here for Risotto. Lionheart at 25. The economy's kind of dropped off. So the point now is from Risotto, he has to build up a decent enough force to take this on. It's essentially going to be like a final showdown. Whichever army wins may win the game afterwards. And I wouldn't put it past Lionheart's incredible Culverin micro. It has 4 of them now. And Risotto's still not really thinking about further artillery production. Calling in Pulaski's Legion. But where's the shipment point going to come from? He does have an outpost to receive, and that could be pretty huge in terms of drawing fire. There's no melee infantry upgrade from the Arsenal on the Janissaries, but the Jan combat doing wonders, and just look at the Falconets putting so much damage. I think there's a lock-on ability there. Cold War happening. Trading 1 for 1. 2 of Risotto's Culverin's really low HP. But all that matters is just, you know, it keeps the Falconets alive and still under pressure. Go! Gatlins can't come in! They're being sat back down by the Culverin and the Falconets, and this is hard. Like, oh, there's 6 units have gone down there. So many kills! Like, Pulaski's Legion is coming. You got a mercenary shipment on the way. Wait out for reinforcements. You don't have to take this fight just yet. And that's what I'm saying. Okay, the town center's gone down. You can drop your flag at home. And Pulaski's Legion has arrived. 12 Zapcat Ulans on the field. And the everything's just going to right click, but the Falcon's getting still huge shots. There's 4 of them there. Not many Jans remaining. Also, not many sharpshooters. They're all low HP as well, so I'm expecting multiple kills. The Pulaski's Legion kind of actually getting cut down, and the score lead is closing. Still 51 vills. I think the reinforcing from behind might be work, and Villager pool is still potential. Obviously, the Falconets are not as good as Gatling guns in Villager kills. And overall, yeah, it's a noble effort, a noble fight there from the Lion. But the Lion has been cut down here by the pastor himself, Mr. Risotto. Or should I say the Italian rice, but not a bad fight, not a bad effort. And Risotto surely taking the series here 4-3. Very incredible stuff. Very impressive as well. Has a covered wagon here from the state capital just in case he wants to build another town centre. And I think just clean up the fight. I think Lionheart's accepting his position, but happy to let the fight go to a conclusion. And there's one Nizam Fusilier still standing. Not for long though. Gets picked off. Town centre moves forward. Forward position established. But no, actually, Risotto. Lionheart is continuing to play, going for another defensive town centre. But surely he must know that his villager count is very low behind this. 27 villagers. And Mam's in. Oh, Mamluks have been coming, and they weren't there for the final fight, but I don't think he could have waited out much longer for Mamluk support. Interesting to see that the United States is now on the water, starting to move out. No upgrades on the fishing boats just yet. Risotto has seen the Mams and will chase them down, but 5 Jans will come in and intercept. Carbine Cavalry should win that fight, though. That's what must be said. Town centre nearly up, so the villagers can garrison in. Another spawn point for Minutemen. Sharpshooters on the top side. Reinforcement. Carbine Cavalry. A lot of vills, actually, exposed here from the Ottoman player. Has that been seen? I think it has. Or it certainly has now. Yeah, he's missed it. He's missed that opportunity to raid. Risotto looking to go to the 4th age. I think mainly because he can't spend his resources. He's just trying to focus on the micro. He now sees the villagers definitely, but he hasn't really got much to do. He has to fall back behind the wall and regroup, especially on the aging up now. He's gonna lose all his sharpshooters, and again, like, that's not really the trade he needs. And now he has to take on the Janissaries with the Carbine Cavalry and continuously wanting to run behind this. Mam's looking at the wall, maybe going to go for a round on the end. Yeah, this is not really a fight that the Carbine Cavalry wants, and 10% range resist. It doesn't have the Buffalo Soldiers just yet. Gives so much more damage, and an extra range resist multiplier would make so much difference. Probably an extra effective 20% ranged HP there at 10% range resist, so it's certainly worth considering. Agent up with Ohio. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea what that means. I want to say it might be potential for shipping shipments a lot faster as a card to send that. But surely his first card here will be either the Magyar Hussar support Kovacs Legion or the 10 Carbine Cavalry. The mobility that the cavalry is having is really useful, and I think that's going to use that to his maximum effect. And oh my god, I did not realize that the state capital could build a bank wagon, which is actually a very quick way of building a bank. It's certainly worth doing it if it goes down. Yeah, I guess the single horse cannon on the age up, but the shipments behind it are the Putnam Engineering, 3 Culverins and a 4. That's not too bad actually, and Team Ohio Supply Network. trading post income plus 100, but he's not really on that situation. So it's just the age up heavy cannon, but it's like a poor man's version of the engineer age up. 2 falconets for European civs. XP crates also eaten up very nicely. It's just a couple of kills already coming up behind, but not as much as he hoped. This town centre at risk. There's only 6 villagers in here, so it's not the end of the world. Guard Carbine Cavalry surely coming in now behind this. To be fair, the horse artillery has killed like 5 units. It has got a trade. Baited the Mams forward. It's going to get a good shot. Where the villagers coming in? We're going to see a revolt? No, it's just well, maybe a little bit of miss micro. Mamluks providing so much tanking HP. Guard units now come in. Look at the skins. There we go. Beautiful hats. Somewhat look like Uhlans now behind this. Zapka Uhlans, the kind of that imperialistic look. Certainly a change from their pelt helmets previously. The entire army at least is scouted here by Risotto. Another town centre coming out. Everything's on wood at the moment, but he hasn't quite got an established position to expand. The hunts, well, he's got no more food behind. Everything is on wood, and maybe we might see the coal mines coming in. Having said that, though, a couple more unit shipments might close the game off. Heavy cannons should surely end this if they can get some huge volleys, and he might be tempted to send that.
Yes.
2 heavies on the way. Still has decent production on the docks due to the wood income, and we'll actually move on to the wood a little bit more. And there's potential for the heavy for the comeback. Those escaping, they're going to escape into a fishing boat, which is good, keeps the villas alive, but bad, reveals the position, but the trees, the gathering, oh my god. But Mams with only a 34 hand attack, they're not very good at raiding, and they don't have a great siege as well. Abus want to say something about that though. They're getting into range, but very wisely that fishing boat staying out. Carbine Cavalry getting some rain on the villagers, and the heavy infantry pulling back off behind this. Heavy cannons do arrive. I'm sure he would have loved to see them arrive at the forward town centre with some Minutemen production, but hasn't quite worked there for Risotto. He's only got 11 Carbine Cavalry behind. It's like he hasn't actually got much in terms of units. Heavy cannons well back. Abus going to still in range. The heavy cannons are doing the interesting dance, and no kills. That's disappointing for all you heavy cannon artillery fans. 66 kills here from Risotto and Bankwagon. Lionheart 38. Getting there slowly. Still doesn't have the age 1 minute system, and for a player who likes to think he's top 50, top 30, not having tier 1 from the Ottoman Mosque is really painful to see. But yes, I do agree, Gibson. He's actually incredible. Still alive in the game. I expected his resignation twice over by now, but it just shows sometimes like it's all on the line. There's no reason to give up because there's always opportunities. There's always the random select or delete potential from the other person's army, but also when you're fighting with artillery, it's very explosive and dynamic. Tables can change very, very quickly, and the artillery micro there from Lionheart and the American player's base, really decent, has to be said. Fishing looking pretty good now, only on gill nets. I think Risotto has more than 15 boats, 22 fishing boats, and one of the fishing boats still has a lot of villagers garrisoned inside. Which one is it? It's over here. I think Risotto will forget about those because they don't actually show up as idle, it looks like, and I don't think they also correspond to the fishing capabilities of that boat. He does see it now. We'll put it onto the coast, but the infantry are coming. This is risky. Culverin's going to move in to try and pick off some fishing boats, and it'll be like a little bit like duck hunting season for the Culverins. Culverins have a massive multipliers versus fishing boats. They definitely do go into Culverin shots, not impervious to them. Villagers, they get off, they're going to get back in, but this is risky. Coal's unpacking, unload, and they all die. Oh, that's not the move that Risotto wanted. But, okay, the army is tied on the coast. There's the opportunity to outmaneuver and strike, but Risotto's just in base. He can't do anything behind this. Church has come down. It is, there's no eco shipment behind driving all this. He's got 25 fishing boats, but actually his kind of income is dried up. It's all being spent on mills at the moment, trying to upgrade, and Yes, he's actually trained a couple more Guard Carbine Cavalry, but now there's 3 Culverins on the field and they're going hunting on the eastern coast. Not really much Lion can do to protect this. Like, his heavy cannons can't get involved too much. The Orcs villagers are happily on these blueberry bushes with a decent rate of income thanks to the blueberry treasure. Yeah, that dock's going down. All it needs now is a naval shipment there from Lionheart. A frigate would be amazing right now. It doesn't have it in the deck. I knew that would come back to haunt him. Can't really not have a frigate, especially if you've got a card free, and 700 food is not sent, 600 wood is not sent. That is perfect candidates to replace out for some more cards, like the 2 galley or 1 frigate options. Sharpshooters, they do not have their counter infantry riflemen as well. Carbine Cavalry, they think they do have their range. No, Carbine Cavalry have a base range of 14. That's actually quite impressive, but the Culverins are there and he doesn't need to hide them. Like, you don't need to hide the Culverins. There's nothing that Risotto can do to counter them. And yeah, the Culverins take a free shot on heavy cannon. He needs to try and weed out of the way, but I think the Culverins move a little bit faster. Lock on, target lock, target acquired. Heavy cannon's going down for no kills. And that could have been a factory. And Risotto actually has near enough no army at the moment. There is potential for Risotto to lose this game. There is a potential for the comeback, the greatest comeback of the century. And I say that because quite a lot of Risotto's score is tied up in estates, in mills, in buildings. There's the state capital. Bank's pretty decent. 1 town centre, a lot of boats, a lot of wood investment there, but the income is actually not great. Another town centre coming up, being built by the Explorer. And I don't think town centres have a massive anti-boat attack. Oh no, they do. Versus fishing boats, they do. It's the outposts that don't, but the dock's coming down, and as soon as the dock's coming in, the galley's coming out, and they're going hunting. Dock on the western side, another galley coming out, going hunting. Culverin still... And they're going to get some good shots versus sharpshooters. It's not actually that bad to target skirmishers with Culverins. Huge HP range resist, and because they do bombard attack, they bypass a 40% range resist, but the sharpshooters have Vet Abus guns getting in as well, and all I just see is a load of units going down. Outpost is coming up to secure the middle map. The remaining gold on the map, both players have access to House of Oldenburg, but it's not really much use here. The problem is, okay, that dock does come back out. Risotto has to defend this. He has to defend this, but he's not. He is not actually... He's trying another fishing boat. Maybe he's just hitting the all dock button, fishing boat button, but needs to defend his water. Guard Carbine Cavalry moving around, trying to pick up the Culverins, but actually there's no artillery here from Risotto, so there's no desperate need to try and do it. Kovacs Legion is about to come out, and actually it might be the way to clean this army up. The anti-cav here from the Janissaries is not that strong. Could go build a fort here from the Explorer and get Zapka Uhlans, Guard Uhlans, but Kovacs Legion should do a massive amount of work, and maybe this is the ticket for Risotto to end this one. Where they're going to spawn. They're going to spawn from the town centre. 1,000 HP and 50 attack. Everything's going to melt. The Jans only do the 42 attack back. Even with the melee resist, they're no match for the Huss. And a little bit of pull micro back. The Guard Cavalry, the Abus guns can't keep up with this. And Lionheart's forces in the middle have somewhat collapsed. But it's a noble effort. Still taking decent trade here. But reinforcements also now. Risotto, Lionheart also out of natural resources, all on wood, has to mill transfer at the wrong possible time. It was looking to be a potential comeback of the season. However, Risotto holding his ground, nearly opened up a double score lead. And that actually brings himself a decent amount of XP behind this. Nearly to another shipment, and surely that will be one of the factories, just to keep that economy rolling at this point. Lionheart's nowhere near at maximum villagers. That has to be said. He's only at 56, and I still. Oh, he's got the first tier mosque upgrade. Woo! Everyone celebrate. Everyone party. I didn't think it would happen, but it finally has. Nice raid on the boats at the top, but don't stand underneath the docks for too long. Although they're not as strong as what they used to be. Sea galleys as well, very low HP, gonna get picked up here, and that boat is gonna go down, I think. Kovacs Legion raiding backside. Couple of deadies trying to intercept, catch, but no, not gonna happen. And surely Rizzolo now cleaning this game up. There's been a long series, quite a few 40-minute plus games in this series. They started nearly about 4 hours ago, 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago, I think. So endurance is a long one, and they're fighting for every single point. But when he's throwing down outposts like this, it kind of feels like it's nearly time to throw in the towel. No outpost is actually researching fortified outposts, which will increase the damage by 50%. You kind of need that if you're relying on building defense at the moment. No chance going to the fourth phase. Doesn't even have heavy fortifications, but then again, I don't think Osman do these days. Fishing boats clean up, guys, clean up the right side. Potential then to explore onto the water here fully. The sloops coming back from Rizzolo, fighting back on the water. Doesn't matter though, because the land fight is essentially lost. Outpost goes down with 5 seconds to construct. Magyar Hussars are still running around. Lionheart has no military units. It is just the Explorer on the right side. There is no land military units, and these buildings they do damage, but they don't do enough to justify not having any military units. With little gold income, no gold income, very little food income as well, only by the fishing boats. There's no real way to replenish your army, only outposts. All the villagers in this base are tied down. Town center, more outposts coming up. And soon we're going to see the covered wagon spam here from Rizzolo. Does he have heavy fortifications? He does not actually. But,
Yes.
yeah, covered wagon, more villagers. Kind of like to see also an outpost. I'd actually like to see Virginia plan next card here from Rizzolo. Double that shipment. Get 2 shipments to play with. And surely that will give him the jump. Okay, Dennis, copy. I'll have to probably leave this game then. I don't see a way that Lionheart gets back into this, and surely he's going to type in the GG. Surely he's going to type in. He does have 65 vills though, so does have villagers. I'm going to have to watch the end of this, Dennis. I have to, or at least until it becomes exponentially clear that it's just not going to happen. Villagers making a retreat from the town centre. They all should get picked off here. They all should get picked off, but the Carbine Cavalry is not snaring the remaining. Actually, quite a few do get out. Rizzolo is trying his best to hunt down the forwards. There was some Gaul Cavalry nearby, the Magyar Hussars, but that's not quite going to happen. Lionheart now training the Petards, going for some sneaky side artillery foundry raids. Where's the other artillery foundry? I think it might be back in the home base. Oh, it's behind, right behind that second town centre. That water fight topside still going on. Sea Peacock here from Lionheart, putting pain on Rizzolo's fishing boats. There's no dock remaining actually here from Rizzolo, so Lionheart's actually somewhat securing both sides of the water. Rizzolo, I don't think Rizzolo has tier 2 mills. No, he doesn't. He does have this first tier upgrade estates. Sharpshooter Carbine Cavalry coming in still behind. All the villagers are tied up in this town centre. They're going to go down. And here comes the Petards. What they're going to find? They could get some decent picks up on the estates, but minimum defense should be enough. And actually, only 2 will not be enough to take down a town centre. They'll still being trained behind. More villagers here from Osman going down. He now only has that 1 town centre. Full town centre from USA does get picked off, but I don't think Rizzolo minds too much. 69 vills for the United States of America. Ottoman also on 68 vills, but quite a lot of them are fishing boats. he doesn't quite have long lines at the moment, which is very, very strong economy upgrades, and should probably not train more fishing boats and get that. You know what? Lion can age. Lion is in a situation where he can age, and I think he's going to try and age behind this. There's still 6 villagers outside this area. There's a mortar. There's a howitzer here from Risotto. He hasn't quite got that one micro correctly, but that can pick off all the houses. Yeah, he's just going to start working on this one. Good play, good play. 2 shot on the houses. Outpost will go down. Siege in the fronts of Lionheart's last main town centre. This is the last stand. You would think this is a place for whoever wins first place in the tournament, but this is just an extra 1 single point on the board in the team championship. And you can see how passionate both players are, fully going to this to the end. But Risotto's fully transitioned. Has he got a factory yet? I don't think he's actually called a factory from Risotto. Sends in 4 goals, and yeah, that could actually have been the Virginia plan for the +2. However, I could see a culverin and an artillery howitzer covered. The classic town centre in your opponent's base to assert dominance and line of sight. All these villagers getting dunked as well. Is just slowly grinding down a Lionheart. Culverins do come out, and the thing is, there's actually nothing here to protect in those culverins apart from just the fear itself. 22 sharpshooters, 6 Minutemen. Guard Minutemen, that is. And Risotto trained double stagecoach on all training posts. Trying to get down to the final one at the bottom, but it's not quite happening. She's working his hardest and killing off all the remaining outposts. And the industrialists just come into Spahi! Oh my god, there's no anti-cav! It's H4 Spahi! Oh, call the Carbine Cavalry, but where are they? He's only got 5 on the field! Just look at the artillery just running for it! They're getting out of here! Agreed, yeah, if Lion did get heavy fortifications, it might be fine. The only problem is the fish on the water is not infinite. But the pushback is real. There's Vet Abus guns, guard Spy, but 2 of them are nearly down. But with Lionheart, he's nearly got 2 shipments, so he's going to call in. We can't call in the bombars. He's kind of housed at the moment thanks to losing all the houses in base. So certainly a lot of effort there has been gone onto that. But the Spahis see essentially pure skirmishers down here, and they're going to come and get some juicy kills. Trying the hardest to get back in, and you kind of want to be calling factory straight away just to make sure you have that gold income so you can train things like the culverins, like the Abus guns. Another house coming down, another town centre being built behind Coles from Risotto pushing onto the water, and they're going to go duck hunting on top of the fishing boats. Another shipment here from Ottoman. Second factory, likely to be called. Abus guns retreating. Artillery factory standing, and that guard Spahi is moving around trying to find one more. Howitzer and the skirmishers have to go. Minutemen being called to try and pick this one off. And it's just Risotto kind of just needs to collect his forces and go in for one push at it to finish this one off.
I'm ready.
Has Risotto got flaming shot? I don't think he has. No, he hasn't. He hasn't actually got any armory tech. So really looking to get in the ranged cavalry caracol for the dragoon specifically. First factory is down, and like barracks are coming up. A lot of effort being thrown into this. Is the howitzer looking to try and target the outpost? There is a sea galley there with some stuff in it. So it's just 2 villagers inside. Not too bad. Quite a lot of the fishing boats are now getting cleaned up on the top side, but the Fish Nico here on the top side looking really good here from Lionheart. The score is slowly getting back to being relatively close. Okay, an Ironclad's come out, which is actually going to start laying siege to a factory, and actually there was a howitzer somewhere, but that got picked off, and there's a couple more howitzers just chilling. These now need to turn up to the coast, work with the culverins, pick off that Falcon factory. I think as soon as the factory goes down, I think Lionheart will realise his long-term resource income is looking limited because he hasn't got space to really get the mills going down. He hasn't actually got too many landfills, only 29 land villagers, and they only got a gang saw, no log flume, no market to upgrade that as well. And the ironclads getting some good damage. The artillery foundry was allowed to get complete, and 3 culverins do come out. There is culverin royales here from United States of America player Risotto. Minutemen's finally sieging down that artillery foundry. More petards coming out, potentially last. The frigate shot, and the ironclad coming down. The culverins surely going down, and the artillery foundry behind. There are great bombards, but the problem is there are ships and there's culverins. They really can't push in too much at the moment. There are still some vet janissaries. Risotto using scientific expeditions. Where's he going to place it though? I guess he'd place it in town, but he's actually going to put it. I have no idea where he's put the balloon. Doesn't really matter. Probably at home. He might have misclicked that. There it is. That could have gone scouting, but he knows exactly what's up, where everything else is. I think he's forgot those howitzers exist, but it doesn't really matter. The ironclads and the frigate lanes siege the factory, guarded by the culverin royales. The guard skirmishers moving to pick the janissaries. Game's gone 50 minutes. What a long game this has been. Villagers still being trained here by Risotto. 86 villagers in total. Lionheart up to 61. Down to 61 from the last 69 check-in. Battery going down. No shipment behind this. Dock is down. Guard. Dragoon. Really hard for Ottoman to ever come back and deal with Dragoons at this point. Unless he goes for full Abus mass, but he hasn't got the gold income. He's got some food, he's got some gold, but... Oh, he's actually getting some shots on the Great Bombards. Culverin defense looking pretty good, but it is still 2 Culverin Royales, and actually a little bit of micro sugar to win that one. Ironclads pushing back. They do have the long-range bombards, and the shots from the Culverin Royal and the long-range bombard combined to pick that off. Bombard low HP, but the Culverins can just turn around now. All the Culverins are gone. Jans will move in, but they could try and get an extra range. Skirms will move in. There's a frigate as well. Still going on this game. I was expecting the GG about 35 minutes ago, but the Turking, the cockroaching, the hiding has been unreal. Guard skirmishers, still no counter-infantry rifling. And the Guard Carbine Cavalry, still no range cavalry caracol there from Risotto. Just imagine how much impact these upgrades here from the Arsenal could have done. The mill is still looking a bit lackluster with tier 2 not yet been upgraded. But securing the water with advanced naval ships looking really strong. Frigate there working. Ironclad working nicely as well. And Lionheart coming in for the raid there. Suggesting that he has just about won versus Risotto. No, I doubt it. But the game's been drawing so close. Been for a long time, for a while. Vet Jans, not quite guard. There's still howitzers laying siege to buildings and the houses. Out come the Culverin Royales. The score now 300k in the lead there for Risotto. Actually hasn't got that much of an army. Only 20 skirms. Still has a heavy cannon from somewhere. Has he actually put his artillery foundry onto... his factory onto artillery? I think he has. Really awkward place. Dropping the hot air balloon in player's base. Minutemen getting some work done. What about the naval stuff? Just keep getting pushed back by the town centre. And that's where the howitzers need to work on, just so allow the navy to roll down. But I think Lionheart's tapping out. I think he's realised that. And wow, what a game. What some strong artillery micro there from Lionheart. And that was such a fun one. You can see both players playing with absolute passion there throughout the game, trying to keep it going as long as possible. So congrats on that one. And actually, Risotto, he actually wins the series 4-3, taking a valuable 4 points for his team. Lionheart picks up 3, but that's kind of an upset. I think everyone's expecting Lionheart to win the series, but Risotto was very disappointed after last series. He saw his mistakes, he wanted to come back, and he's shown that he can. What a great game, boys, and I'll see you in the next one.